Up next, we have Scott Williamson, Managing Director of Blackstone Minerals. Thanks so much, Scott.
Thanks, Amy. Thanks for the opportunity, Phil and the team. I'll just grab my presentation. Yeah, so I'm Scott Williamson, Managing Director of Blackstone Minerals. Today we're going to talk about our flagship Tarkung nickel sulfide district in northern Vietnam and how we're well positioned to feed downstream products into the lithium-ion battery industry. So we've got an international portfolio of battery and precious metals. We started our life, as most juniors do, in the goldfields of Western Australia. We also still have that asset and many other assets in our portfolio. Today, we'll just focus on the Tarkung nickel sulfide district. It is worth mentioning, though, we've got the Goldbridge project in British Columbia, and we've got the Silver Swan South project in Kalgoorlie. The Silver Swan South project is along strike of the Kanowna Belle gold mine, and it's also in the same ultramafic package as the Black Swan, Silver Swan nickel mine. So that's a gold and nickel sulfide opportunity. And we've also got cobalt and gold and in the Braylorn district in British Columbia. We're looking at opportunities to divest and look for partners in a lot of these non-core assets. So, and we're going to really streamline the focus of Blackstone over the coming months and years towards this Tarkung nickel sulfide district. So Tarkung is an existing mine. It operated between 2013 and 2016. The previous owners sunk over $136 million into the capital infrastructure, which is a great starting point for Blackstone to restart the mine and push into the downstream products required for the lithium-ion battery industry. Just a quick corporate snapshot. So we've recently raised $21 million, cornerstone by Fidelity. So we're well cashed up, $28 million in the bank and well funded for the next phase of studies. We have a very tight capital structure. So the top 20 shareholders own 60% of the company. And within that, there's board and management own 14%, and Deutsche Balaton, which is a very supportive shareholder out of Germany, owns 13%. We've also introduced EcoPro to the register. The previous raise back in the COVID dip, we added EcoPro at a 62% premium to market. And we'll talk more about EcoPro, but they are the largest cathode manufacturer in South Korea and the second largest cathode manufacturer in the world. So it's a strategic partnership with one of the largest players in the lithium-ion battery industry. They've also added Mr. Jung to the board. So we have an EcoPro representative on the board. And so they've invested and they have 13% of the company. But the next phase of investment is a focus on building a downstream processing facility in a partnership with Blackstone in northern Vietnam. So you can see there we have a board and management team with a proven track record of creating shareholder wealth through exploration success, particularly the partnership between Hamish Halliday and Steve Parsons. This is a partnership that's been, for the last 20 years, a lot of success over many jurisdictions and different commodities. Steve's recent success with Bellevue is taking that from a $5 million company to a $1 billion company today. So that's the type of sort of success that this team has done time and time again over the last 20 years. We're also adding management to the management team, the ability to restart the mine. So we've just added a head of project development, Andrew Strickland from GR Engineering. We've also added Richard Kitchener as a general manager of operations. So we're really teaming up this management team to move this mine back into production over the coming years. So just before we get into the opportunity, it's important for people to understand there's two types of nickel. There's class 1 nickel and class 2 nickel. And class 1 nickel is the type of nickel required for the lithium-ion battery. To produce class 1 nickel, we need to be looking for nickel sulfide, and our district in northern Vietnam is a sulfide. Or we need to be building high pressure acid leach projects, which are very high capital intensity. So we can use laterite ore bodies, but they require HPAL processing, which is a very high capital intensity and previously has had some technical risk. So we believe the best way to get class 1 nickel is through nickel sulfide. And you can see in the charts, there's a limited demand of class 1 nickel coming and a very limited supply and a strong demand coming from the lithium-ion battery. So let's talk about this lithium-ion battery. So 40% of the lithium-ion battery is the cost is in the cathode, and of that, 40% of the cost of the cathode is in the nickel and the cobalt. So the lithium-ion battery, albeit has a significant portion of lithium, it is the nickel that is the problem for the lithium-ion battery industry at the moment. So we believe that there's a supply crunch coming in the order of 2023 to 2025. There will not be enough nickel to supply the demand coming from the lithium-ion battery. And this is all driven by a move towards high nickel cathode. So there's a movement towards a nickel to cobalt ratio of 8:1 with nickel manganese cobalt ratio of 8:1. The initial lithium-ion battery had a ratio of 1:1. So the equal ratio of nickel to cobalt of 1:1, that is moving towards an 8:1 ratio. And this is why there's a significant demand for nickel coming in the coming years. So just on to our project in northern Vietnam. We're 6 hours west of Hanoi in the Son La province. The Son La province has the largest hydropower plant in Southeast Asia. And that really puts us on the map as far as we believe we can produce a green nickel product. So green nickel is a type of nickel that is using the renewable power. We believe that we put ourselves in front of the rest of the industry that's using fossil fuels to produce their nickel. We also have the Haiphong port. So we're 350 kilometers from the port of Haiphong. This is a emerging district for lithium-ion batteries, but also electronics, and it's an emerging manufacturing industry in northern Vietnam. So well positioned in what we believe is going to be a really important industry and region in Southeast Asia. So just in snapshot of what we're trying to achieve with the Tarkung nickel sulfide district. So we can see here the previous owners have built a 450,000 tonne per annum concentrator. They also built a modern mechanized underground mine, and they depleted that first ore body. The first ore body was called the Ban Phuc Massive Sulfide. They've depleted that ore body, and then without any exploration for the 25 other targets that are outside of that ore body. So what we've done is simply just turned on the drill rigs, and we're discovering nickel throughout this district. The first ore body we've drilled out is this large disseminated ore body called the Ban Phuc Disseminated, and we've just recently announced our maiden resource. We believe we have a very similar scenario to the Mount Keith nickel mine in Western Australia. So this is a picture of Mount Keith, and we believe we have a similar scenario, albeit a little bit smaller than Mount Keith, but we have a similar grade profile as the Mount Keith mine in Western Australia, which has been one of the world's best open pit nickel sulfide mines. The reason why we're well positioned is because we've got this hydro grid power that allows for very low processing costs, and we have very competitive labor costs as well. So you can see this is the existing concentrator that we believe that we can use that concentrator to process other massive sulfide opportunities, and we're uncovering those as we speak. But our largest ore body, the Ban Phuc Disseminated, will require a second concentrator. We're looking at a 4 or 6 million tonne per annum scenario. So then we're going to push it through into these downstream products and deliver a premium product for the lithium-ion battery industry. LG Chem is looking at building a $2 billion battery plant in northern Vietnam. We've also seen Samsung come out and say that they're also looking to build lithium-ion batteries in northern Vietnam. So we're well positioned to take the nickel from in the ground all the way through to an electric vehicle in northern Vietnam. We have a local conglomerate called VinFast who are looking to build electric vehicles and electric scooters as well. So we're well positioned geographically. The major markets for the lithium-ion battery industry are South Korea, Japan, and China, and we believe Vietnam will be one of the next. So just on our recent maiden resource and scoping study, you can see we've outlined a very economic scenario. 8.5 year mine life, producing around 13,000 tonnes per annum of nickel, pushing it into these downstream products. So we're achieving a significant premium to the nickel metal price, and that's what's driving this strong MPV. So we've used a consensus nickel price of $8 per pound, and we're getting $665 million US MPV. Our capex is in the order of $315 million. So we've got a 2 times MPV to capex ratio, which shows some very strong economics. And that's what's giving a very good payback and a strong IRR of 45%. So just into a bit more detail on that scoping study. So within that, we've used an indicated resource of 44.3 million tonnes at 0.52% nickel. We also have some inferred, which we're looking to move into the indicated category. But what's really important here is we're producing a downstream product, which allows us to take the concentrate and produce this nickel, cobalt, manganese precursor product, which trades at a 35% premium to nickel metal. And the reason we can do that is because of our partnership with EcoPro. EcoPro is already producing these products in South Korea as we speak. So we can leverage off the expertise of the EcoPro chemical engineers, but also they'll also bring funding and a strong partnership to build this downstream processing facility. So this is what it looks like. So we take the concentrate, we put it through a pressure oxidation autoclave. This is a tried and tested technology used all through the mining industry, particularly in the refractory gold space. So we concentrate the ore and we put it through a very small pressure oxidation process. So that we're looking at around 200,000 tonne per annum POX plant. We then move it through an intermediate product called mixed hydroxide precipitate, MHP. That is becoming a very key ingredient into the lithium-ion battery. So MHP is in high demand already. And then we take the MHP and then we do further leaching and we precipitate into the NCM 811 product. And the reason we're doing that is that allows us to remove a tariff on concentrate in Vietnam. There's a 20% tariff on concentrate. So it allows us to remove that tariff and produce these downstream products which trade at a significant premium to the nickel metal price. So just on that scoping study, that was an initial base case. We believe we can improve these numbers significantly. That one of the ways we can improve that is we can use the existing infrastructure. So we can use the existing $136 million of infrastructure that has been sunk by the previous owners. So we have this small concentrator. It's better suited to massive sulfide. So we're now looking to continue to drill out these massive sulfide opportunities. Those massive sulfides will go through this concentrator and allow us to reduce that upfront capex. So the $315 million we talked about, we can turn that into sort of circa $150 million, which is the downstream cost only, allow us to push the product through this concentrator and into the downstream product, and then look to build the larger concentrator, the 4 to 6 million tonne per annum in through cash flow in years after the initial capex has been sunk. We also have some byproduct credits. We have very strong copper, platinum, palladium, gold and rhodium, and we're looking at potentially bringing them into the economic financial model as well. So just on our exploration potential, so the numbers we've just spoke about are on the Ban Phuc disseminated ore body. We have 25 other targets and we're just systematically working through what we believe could be a world-class nickel sulfide district. The first is that we've commenced drilling recently is the Ban Chang. So we have 2 drill rigs drilling out Ban Chang. We've also started at the Tarkung target. And just yesterday, we've announced that we've started drilling at Ban Qua. So this is 3 of the 25 massive sulfide targets throughout this district. It will take us some time to unlock the geology, but we've got the modern geophysics. We've trained up the local geophysicists. We have our own drill rigs. We have 7 drill rigs of our own. We have 2 contractor rigs. So we have 9 drill rigs operating through this district, and we will uncover this geology over the coming 12 to 18 months. So just into a bit more detail. So this is the Ban Phuc disseminated. While we're drilling out this ore body, we discovered very high grade from surface. So running around 1% nickel. We're still drilling out that King Cobra discovery zone, but that gives us a really good upfront sort of high grade into the mill for the large concentrator. And we believe that this will add value to the existing scoping study numbers. So the existing scoping study was based on all of the drilling up to July, and this will add value to those numbers. This is the Ban Chang ore body. So you can see we have different types of mineralization. We have massive sulfide and net textured. We are continuing. This will be the first of those massive sulfide opportunities that will go through the existing concentrator. This is the second opportunity, Tarkung. We have an EM plate, which we're currently drilling. So we're ongoing drilling at Tarkung. And this is the one we just commenced drilling, Ban Qua, 1.5 kilometers from Ban Phuc, very similar to the Banfook ore body, we believe we'll have similar success at Banquar. So just in the upcoming news flow, we are now moving towards pre-feasibility study, a big year of studies in 2021, and then looking to rebuild and restart the mine in 2022. Just on the news flow, we will continue to update the market on our exploration success, but only if it really moves the dial. So we continue to explore aggressively. If we continue to hit numbers that we've seen previously, we will only announce major changes to the economics of the project. So just in summary, we have a portfolio of battery and precious metals. Today, we just focused on the Tarkung nickel sulfide district. We just delivered our maiden resource and our scoping study, very strong numbers. We're trading at around 0.1 times NPV, which is significant discount. We will close that gap on the NPV. We will, as we de-risk this mine and move it back into production. We have a strong record of creating shareholder wealth, and we believe this is another great opportunity for the Blackstone shareholders. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Scott.